Okay, raw dogging a movie is when you watch it without having the Wikipedia page open. Raw dogging TV is when you watch it without a second screen doing something else. Raw dogging food prep is when you do the food prep. Raw dogging walking outside is when you're not playing Pokemon Go. Raw dogging a dog walk is when you don't have headphones in. Raw dogging sex is when you look at the person and talk to them during the sex. Raw dogging sleep is when you don't put a podcast on. Raw dogging a podcast is listening to it at the normal speed, 1.0 speed. Raw dogging YouTube is not actually skipping through the ad reads. Raw dogging meat is when you don't cook it at all. You just eat the dog directly. Raw dogging an argument is when you don't look stuff up online. Raw dogging a pub quiz is when you don't cheat. Raw dogging an essay is when you don't do much plagiarism. Raw dogging birth is when you go through the vagina, you don't chicken out and make them cut you out of the abdomen. Raw dogging a line read is getting through the line in one take. Raw dogging weight loss is when you don't use Ozempic. Raw dogging your job is when you do your job. You can raw dog getting dressed by not taking a selfie of it. Raw dogging your dating profile is when you're honest about who you are. Raw dogging a conversation is when you listen to the conversation. Raw dogging a condom is when all participants touch the condom directly with nothing in the way of it. They're just raw dogging the condom. Raw dogging hearing a song is not Shazamming it. Raw dogging the Google microphone song search is calling it Shazam when it's not. Shazam was bought by Apple. Raw dogging technology is having an Android device. Raw dogging swimming is not wearing a condom while swimming. Raw dogging death is when it's caused by factors outside of yourself. Raw dogging a minute is not checking your phone for a minute. Raw dogging a video game is playing it yourself rather than watching someone on the internet play it. Raw dogging an opinion is when you come up with it yourself rather than watching someone on the internet come up with it. Raw dogging a relationship is when you don't ask who the asshole is on Reddit. Raw dogging marriage is monogamy. Raw dogging religion is sincerely believing the religion. Really. As if it's real. Raw dogging knowledge is when you actually retain the knowledge and you don't have to look it up. Raw dogging going to see something live is not heckling, although heckling itself is kind of the ultimate verbal raw dog. Raw dogging a flight is when you don't wear a condom whilst you fuck on a plane. Raw dogging the morning after pill is when you don't buy yourself a milkshake at the same time, but you probably deserve it. Actually make him pay. 2 ways to raw dog an online purchase. The first is by not having Amazon Prime, and the second, specifically for clothes, is not buying it in multiple sizes to send back the ones that don't fit. At time of recording, you can actually raw dog a purchase by going to get it in a store. Raw dogging waking up is when you set 2 or fewer alarms. Raw dogging a book is reading all of the pages and all of the words in order without skipping to the end on paper. Supposedly, I guess that's what raw dogging a book would be. Raw dogging a diagnosis is when you do it yourself. Raw dogging a jigsaw puzzle is not looking at the design on the box. Raw dogging time is when you don't know what time it is. Raw dogging guitar is not tuning it. Raw dogging a USB stick removal is just yanking it out. Raw dogging encountering people is making eye contact. Raw dogging crossing the road is when you just don't look. Raw dogging seeing something is when you see something you've not seen before. Raw dogging being in public is not masking.